I've seen some comments online that people think autopilot has improved with the summer update version 2026.26. Has anyone else noticed this? Because I've been testing it and I can't really notice a difference. It's very difficult because sometimes it will do something really good and you think, oh, is that an improvement? Has that been changed in the software? But I think it's a sort of placebo effect because you're looking for change. And there's so many variables with autopilot. Sometimes it can do things really well. Sometimes it can feel like it's made a pretty poor job of certain situations. But for the last 4 or 5 days, I've been driving around using autopilot as much as I can. And while I've seen some things which feel better, I don't think it's a result of this summer update. I'm not seeing changes consistently to say definitely it's a new version of software. If anything has changed, possibly it's the way the car brakes and accelerates. So I'm just going to see if it's noticeable here. Well, no one's pulling off on this exit. I thought they would be slowing down. But I've noticed that the braking feels a bit earlier and a bit more gentle, a bit more gradual. And when the cars come to a stop or near a stop, it doesn't accelerate quite so fast. Before, it made your stomach churn as it accelerated off a bit too quick and then would have to lift off again. So if I'm noticing anything, I think that's where there's been a slight change, but only slight. So I've got Enhanced Autopilot on this, so if I navigate to home, let's see how it turns off the A34 here on the slip road, because before it used to get a bit confused about which junction to go in because the slip road splits into two. So we'll see whether that performs any different, because that's one thing I haven't tested, but I don't think it's going to be honest. I'm expecting when that lane splits to two, it's still going to dance about wondering which lane to get into. Actually, we're entering a 50-mile-an-hour speed limit. Let's see whether the speed drops here. So we're entering this construction zone. It should now read the signs, drop to 50, but it's still saying it's staying at 70 max. So it hasn't changed that, so I need to use the scroll wheel to drop that down. However, it's busy, so let's leave it up to 70 because the rest of the cars is what's slowing the car down here, not the maximum speed I've got this set to. It's still doing this thing where it wants to go in the outside lane when you're driving beside traffic cones. That hasn't changed. It's handling this lane just fine because we've no longer got white markings there. We've just got the little fluorescent temporary cat's eyes. So it's handling lane centering really well in these scenarios. So we're now going to go back to the original lanes. It's not getting confused by the sprayed white lines and handles all of that just fine, as it always did, to be honest. So no changes there. So my exit off this dual carriageway is in half a mile's time. I've got Enhanced Autopilot, so it will navigate off the dual carriageway. That's a feature of Enhanced Autopilot, but it's a bit hit and miss whether it works. It works much better on a motorway, which is what it's designed for. I don't think it's really designed for a dual carriageway like this. So it should pull us off here. I'm going to start indicating here, and we should now pull off. Right, at this point it gets confused, so we're now drifting over and we're now in the left lane. Actually, that was better than the last time I came down here. So Curvature Assist has now came on. This is a stupid regulation thing, slows right down. We actually want to be in the right lane here, but I will leave it on autopilot because there's nothing behind us. Yeah, and we come to a complete stop. Right, I've now taken over. Self-driving aborted for system error. I've not seen that before. That's interesting. It obviously came to a complete stop at that roundabout and didn't want to continue. That's, I don't know whether that's normal, but that is understandable because autopilot can't handle roundabouts in the UK. It's not FSD like you have in the rest of the world. It's a highway system, not for generalized driving. So I'll put autopilot on here, which it's not really designed for, but let's just change the speed to 39 miles an hour. So we're braking, well, hopefully we're braking. Yeah, we're now braking for the car in front because it stopped at these lights. And to me, it feels like it's braking a little bit sooner, but then possibly it left it a bit late. But I think before it was a bit more violent on the brakes, but maybe I'm just guessing there. And now it's pulled away okay. Got to just touch the steering wheel. So I'm still letting it drive. Is it going to get this lane right here? Yeah, it's swerved around the curve. The road did that. It handled that just fine. Would it pull away before from a stop like that? I'm not sure whether it did. A lot of the times I would have touched the accelerator. Or actually, in reality, a lot of the time I wouldn't have it on autopilot in a situation like that. But at the moment, it's doing all the driving itself, and it pulled away just fine there. So now we're coming around this corner. We're going into a national speed limit. So this should change to 60. It's not changing, so I'm going to hold the stalk down, and it's now moved to 60. And it's obviously not going any faster because we've got a car in front, so it's going to match the speed of that vehicle in front. I've still got to touch the steering wheel occasionally, even though I am looking out the windscreen. Possibly I'm looking at the screen a bit more because I'm just sort of seeing what it's doing because I'm recording and I know the camera's focusing on that. I'm also occasionally looking at my camera to make sure it's still pointing in the right direction. But I'm struggling to notice any real difference here. Anyway, if you know any different, let me know in the comments below. Have you noticed any changes with autopilot with this new summer 2026 update? So I'll leave it there. If you found it interesting or useful, please do click the thumbs up as always. Do subscribe to the channel. I've got to touch the steering wheel there. Curvature Assist has come on because we're going around this corner. Yeah, it all seems normal to me. Anyway, I'll leave it there. If you found it useful, please do click the thumbs up, and I'll see you on the next one. And there's autopilot disengaged as I touched the steering wheel and turned it slightly. If you like the video, please do click the thumbs up button, and leaving a comment also helps too. Plus, of course, subscribe if you're not. If the video saved you time or money, a little support via Ko-fi or the Super Thanks button would mean a lot. There's over 1,300 videos on the channel, so have a browse, use the search, and have a look at the playlists. And here's 2 videos you may want to check out.